The deck I'm gonna be showing you today, I've already shown once, but since the games are so random, I wasn't able to show all the nice features of the deck. The main point of this deck is to make your opponent discard their library, so lose the game by having no cards in the library. The purpose of the cards are to either discard the cards from the library or waste time. So there are spells which prevent damage, which heal you, creatures which heal you, lots of spells which help you locate lands in your deck, and also some spells which kill the opponent's creatures and so on. So the name of the game is really time wasting. So as you see here, I'm putting out a creature which actually heals me by 1 every time I play a land. So currently at 21 health. Now the opponent has a 2/3 creature vigilance, using it to attack, and I thought like, I shouldn't probably block, because like that's a stupid move. Why would she do that? She must have an instant to buff the creature. And I was like, oh come on, maybe she's just testing me and it would be free damage. So I blocked. Stupid move. Anyway, I lost that healing ability pretty soon. But now I can play this enchantment, which is the key to winning the game. Thanks to this enchantment, every time I draw a card, my opponent has to discard 2 cards from the top of the deck. If both of these cards are non-lands and they share color, they must repeat this process. So discard 2 more cards and so on. The opponent obviously attacks. I have no ways of defending myself, so that's 19 health for me. And now drawing a card, so my opponent needs to discard 2 cards. Obviously play a land, and since my cards are pretty bad in my hand, I'm gonna play this spell and draw 2 more cards, which again triggers that enchantment twice. An elf shaman creature. Oh, so it destroyed my enchantment. That's not great. So far the cards in my hand are pretty bad, and my only thing was that enchantment, so not looking great honestly. But let's see what cards we can draw next. Okay, that's a nice land. I'm gonna take it. So it enters the battlefield tapped, but only if I don't control a forest or an island, which I do. And now I'm really thinking about playing that spell on the right to kill the opponent's creatures. But there isn't the best time for that just yet, so just draw 2 more cards, hoping for something better. That spell is really strong, like I could destroy all the creatures, but my opponent only had 2, 3 now, and this is 4/4 trample, so that's pretty strong. Obviously attacks, that's gonna be 6 damage. I can't really defend myself here, so that's down to 11 health. Now obviously play land, why not? And I'm really thinking about playing this creature as well, because when it enters the battlefield, it exiles top 4 cards of the opponent's library. But it's better to play that once I have some nice cards which are triggered when I put out lands, because out of those 4 cards discarded or exiled, I can take all the lands and just put it on my side. Chose to kill all the creatures because like that I would be probably dead the next turn or the turn after, so I really had to do that. Now I can play this creature again, but you know, there's no point at this moment, so I just drew a card and discard another. Now play a land and draw 2 more cards, cause why not? I need something good. And there we go, Fog. This is really a card many people hate, because it prevents all combat damage that would be dealt in a turn. It only costs 1 land, so my opponent can have how many creatures they want, but when they attack, I just, you know, say no, you know, no damage this turn, screw you. But finally I've got an enchantment that's gonna heal me a little. That's helpful. So I put out a land and I get to choose whether I want to buff my creature or gain 2 lives. Now another spell, so that's 2 more lands, 1 in my hand, 1 you know, tapped, goes on the battlefield, 2 more lives, and I'm ready to play my Fog should I need it. And I shouldn't probably, because my opponent, yeah, just plays a Planeswalker. That's not bad. So basically she can turn a land into a 5/5 elemental creature with haste. So she has the possibility of attacking straight away. However, she chooses to, you know, get this card from the graveyard and again destroy my enchantment. Man, I want my enchantments back. Like, are you kidding me? Now I wanted to play the creature, but it's a shame that I really can't use any lands I put out. But there you go, 4 cards exiled. None of those were lands, so it doesn't matter. Play another land. I can't afford to play any cards except for the 4 cards, and there's no point in doing that. Now my opponent is choosing to turn a land into a creature, but there's no way she's gonna attack because my 5/8 creature is just right there. That wouldn't be a smart move to do that. Now I can't really do anything at this point. All I can do is play lands or play spells which help me find lands in my deck. But why would I want to do that? Like, I don't have a shortage of lands on the battlefield, and when I play lands, I get nothing out of it. So, no point really. And again, a land is a creature, but I don't think she's gonna attack, because she would just lose a creature, or perhaps even a land, and she doesn't have any cards in her hand right now, which is really nice. I do have some cards, but they're practically useless. So, like, the only thing I can just think about is, should I play a land or not? You know, because there's nothing else I can do. Now, one of these spells, I have the white one in the middle, lets me discard all permanents on the battlefield, mine and the opponent's. However, I have to choose a single creature, enchantment, and a planeswalker, and these will not get discarded. So if I wanted to, you know, destroy my opponent's planeswalker, I mean, and the creatures, all of that, I would basically have to keep the planeswalker, keep the enchantment, and keep one of the creatures. So that wouldn't be a nice thing to play that spell just yet. But as you see, my opponent is starting to play many creatures, and my fogs could come in handy. Or I'm even, you know, deciding whether I should play that white spell to kill the creatures. But I think it's still too early, and I should waste more time playing fogs, and once my opponent plays more cards, then kill all the creatures. Now, obviously, just another land, I might not even play it. So what's the point? What's the point? I'm just gonna search my library, so I can take 3 basic lands, up to 3 lands, and simply put them all on the battlefield, tapped. So really no point. And there's only one freaking land left in the deck of mine. So all of the lands in my deck are on my battlefield. Again, yeah, make land. Make a creature out of that land. But still no attack, because that wouldn't kill me. I've got 22 health. And finally, a bit too late, the defender, which heals me by 1 whenever I play a land. So I'm up to 23 health right now. Again, debating whether I should play the sorcery or not. So that should be the, last land. Tap into the battlefield, and that's another life. Oh, and I forgot, that spell gives me 7 lives as well. I completely forgot. So that's up to 31 now. That's quite insane. Like, I was down to 11 And I've got 31 now just because I played a few sorcery cards. And you know, each of those basically allows me to put 6 or 3 and 3 lands on my battlefield. So those 2 spells, that's heal by 14 and 6 lands on the battlefield. And if I had the creatures and the enchantments, that's even more healing. Now finally, legendary enchantment. So I get to draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. That's not that great. Would be better if my opponent were to discard cards from the top of her deck. But I really need some, you know, new interesting cards. And I'm just gonna discard the land because I don't really need them. So that's again the Defender and this creature, which turns into a Planeswalker. So if I tap it, I draw a card, then discard a card, I think, and if there are many cards in my graveyard, it turns into the Planeswalker. I can't use it just yet. Yeah, there you go. Draw a card, discard a card, and transform. Oh, there are many creatures my opponent has on the battlefield. 1 attack and yeah, I wouldn't be dead, but these are pretty strong. I wouldn't even kill that many, and I wouldn't be able to, you know, attack back, or only with 5 damage, you know, because my creatures don't have any attack anyway. So now I'm gonna do it. Draw a card, then discard a card, and I think I'm gonna, yeah, discard this because that's pointless. I don't need any more lands, and there aren't any on the battlefield anyway. I mean, in the deck, so no point. And I'm thinking about resurrecting a card or playing a spell card from my graveyard, but it's easier to just gain some tokens on the Planeswalker and play the last ability. That would be nice. But still, we are in the time-wasting part of the game. I just need my opponent to think that there's no danger. They can keep playing enchantments, artifacts, creatures, just play whatever you want. But let's waste time. If you kill me too fast, I won't be able to destroy your deck. But this is a big deck. My opponent had over, what was it, over 70 cards maybe even in the deck. So now it's 53. And that's basically where I started. Now, since I've got a Planeswalker, I get to look at the top card of my library whenever I want to draw a card and decide whether I want to keep it on top or put it on the bottom of the library. Again, just activate the ability, you know, get another token, more time wasting. No attacks, no playing cards, no such thing. Let's see what my opponent does. Another land, cool. Now, are you gonna play that card in your hand? Or is it like an instant buffing some creatures? Sure, again, land, 7/7. That's pretty strong. And attacking my Planeswalker. Okay, so I really wanted to reach those 9 tokens on it, or, you know, counters. So I think I'm gonna block here. Lose the Defender doesn't really matter, so no more healing for me. I don't have any lands anyway, so it doesn't matter. Again, look at the top card, and I don't really want that, so bottom of the library. Then I draw, and again, it's this beautiful thing. So whenever I draw a card, I get to discard top 2 cards of my opponent's library. Now I'm gonna draw a card, discard a card. Yeah, 2 lands, I mean, come on. So just get rid of 1, trigger the ability twice, play the land, get some more HP. And this is really not looking good for me, because my opponent does have many creatures. I'm probably gonna be able to, you know, kill them, but at this point it seems that I'm gonna run out of cards in my deck faster than my opponent. A lot faster. This isn't looking good at all. Because many of my spells make me draw cards. And I can't have that, right? Deciding to attack my Planeswalker, I'm gonna have to block again. Or play the 4 cards. But I think it's better to just get rid of my creatures instead. So I'm sacrificing one of them. It's gonna get dealt 7 damage, but the other should survive. However, my opponent, playing an instant, +4/+4 to that creature, so that's 8/8, which is gonna destroy my 5/8. But at least I'm gonna block all of the incoming damage. Since it's a trample, it would have gone through. So my Planeswalker is still alive. Oh, look at that! Yes, please put it on the top of the library. And that's a legendary creature. What I'm gonna do is play it, and I get to choose 2 permanents and just get rid of them. So obviously those 2, which I wouldn't be able to discard or destroy in any other way. And this creature has the nice ability that whenever it attacks, my opponent has to take top 20 cards of the deck and put them in the graveyard. Just like that. Top 20, do you understand? So my creature only has to attack twice to get rid of those 40 cards in the opponent's deck. That's insane. My opponent might be able to attack, destroy me, don't care about the fogs, but now I'm choosing which cards to keep. So I'm gonna keep this Planeswalker, that enchantment, and my opponent is gonna keep this 1/1 token creature. And the rest gets discarded. So from my side, that was only the legendary enchantment. My opponent was forced to discard all of the creatures but one. Again, destroy my enchantment. I don't really care, I just need to attack twice. This creature is also indestructible. Like, how crazy is that? Basically all damage that would be dealt to the creature gets, prevented. And I don't even need this emblem at this point, because there's the emblem that the Planeswalker would give me, that whenever I play a spell, my opponent has to discard top 5 cards of the deck. Not necessary anymore, just gonna play another Planeswalker creature at this point. It's gonna turn into a Planeswalker once I play land, and I don't think there are any more lands. But here, as you see, I'm attacking with my creature, and before my opponent is even allowed to block, 20 cards are gone from her deck. She's gonna block, it doesn't really matter, but yes, it's better to sacrifice a creature and not lose 10 health. What's this? An enchantment. Does it do anything interesting? And not really. So that's an enchantment, and whenever my opponent plays a strong creature, she gets to draw a card. It doesn't matter anymore. You're dead. This is your last round. Now I'm just playing here. Let's get the emblem. Because why not, So there we go. Whenever I play a spell, she's gonna have to discard cards from the deck. Doesn't matter. My creature attacks, and her deck is gone. There are no cards. So once my turn is over, she's gonna lose the game, unless something magical happens. Obviously, she's gonna block. Doesn't really matter. Let's see the beautiful damage being dealt. -9. That would have hurt. Anyway, that's end of my turn, and once I end, there we go. Victory. 13 cards left in my deck. I almost died, got 11 health. My opponent had so many creatures, and it was all for nothing. In the end, I am victorious, and my opponent is probably pretty pissed off.